Hi everyone. I really hope you are all doing good. It's been some time that I have hit that record button and created a video on this channel. And one of the reasons is because I have been building the team silently and I have been working on some of the really interesting real life project over the last few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. And now that I'm back, I think we are going to have a really interesting use cases. Some of the product that I have created, we will launch it, and I'm also going to share you all the learning and experience in the coming videos, which starts with this one, of course. Now in this video we are going to talk about one of the real life project that I have taken sort of inspiration from, and this is a project that one of my client have prescribed me to review it, and then that's what I have done, and then I came up with my own version. So before talking a lot about that, let's first go and see the demo first, and then I'm gonna walk you through the entire process as we have done previously with other videos that I have created on the channel. And I can say you for certain 100% that by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to build a really complex AI agent system, which will have memory, which will have function calling, which can manage different tasks, and which can continue conversations as well. So let's first show you the demo, and then I'll talk you about the architecture, and then I'll take you through the code base. So I hope you're ready. Let's go to my screen. So here we are in the app that we are going to create in this particular video, or starting this video, and let's get started. So I'll just put my name, and because it's a mental health coach, maybe I'll just select feeling anxious and continue. Then hit start talking. Now let's hit the talk to coach button. Hello, Avijit. I'm Craig, your mental health coach. How are you feeling today? I understand feeling anxious is something which brings you here today. Let's work on that together. I actually joined this new team recently with a lot of experienced developers and members, and I was just feeling a bit anxious about how to manage the team. I see. It sounds like you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed in this new environment. Joining a team with experienced developers can definitely increase anxiety. What specifically about this situation is making you feel anxious? Is it the pressure to perform, or perhaps feeling like you don't measure up? Yeah, it's both. Can you come up with probably some goals for them that I can set? Absolutely, Abhijit. Setting specific goals can really help manage your anxiety. Here are a few ideas. 1. Identify and challenge negative thoughts related to your performance. 2. Set small, achievable tasks each week to build your confidence. 3. Schedule regular check-ins with a mentor or team lead for support. 4. Practice relaxation techniques like deep breathing or mindfulness daily. 5. Engage in a social activity outside of. Can you also create some goals that I can set for the team or the team members? Sure, Avijit. Here are a few goals you could set for the team or team members. 1. Encourage open communication during team meetings to share ideas and concerns. 2. Set a goal for collaborative projects where each member can contribute their strengths. 3. Organize weekly learning sessions where team members can teach each other skills or share knowledge. 4. Foster a supportive environment by recognizing individual achievements within the team. How do these suggestions sound to you? Yeah, I really want to have a smart goals, which is sort of measurable. Do you think you can have something like that? Absolutely, Avijit. Setting measurable goals is a great way to track your progress. Here are a few small, specific goals. 1. Complete one small task each day related to your work, like reviewing code or attending a workshop. 2. Spend 10 minutes each day reflecting on your accomplishments and feelings. 3. Schedule a one-on-one meeting with a team member each week to discuss ongoing projects. I think that's all. Thank you very much. Let me start working on that one. You were speaking something about the mindfulness. What was that? You're welcome, Abhijit. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment and aware of your thoughts. No. What I mean is there any task that I should do to increase the mindfulness? Absolutely. Here are a few tasks you can do to increase mindfulness. 1. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each day for mindful breathing. Focus on your breath and notice how it feels. Does it have to be every day? It's great if you can practice mindfulness every day, but it doesn't have to be strict. Aim for consistency, even if it's just a few times a week. Start with small increments and see what feels right for you. How's that sound? Yeah, thanks. Let me work on that. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome, Avijit. I'm glad to help. Take care and feel free to reach out anytime. Bye.
And now let's test whether we can continue the conversation based on what we have discussed so far.
Welcome back, Avijit. I'm Craig, your mental health coach. How have you been since our last conversation?
Yeah, I was good, but I just forgot what was the task that you have set for me. Can you help that?
Of course, Avijit, your main task is to address the feeling of anxiety. We also talked about increasing mindfulness. Would you like some specific suggestions on how to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Here are a couple of suggestions to help you increase mindfulness first. Try a 5-minute breathing exercise. Just sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold for a moment, then exhale slowly. Second, consider keeping a mindfulness journal. You can write down your thoughts and feelings each day. It can help you process.
So I really hope that you like the way this mental health coach is coming up with response, the voice tonality, and also the memory effectiveness, doing the tool calling, accessing the memory as we progress with the conversations. So these are important features that we should be thinking when we are creating specialized voice AI agents. And that's what frankly we do or I do as part of our web agency work. And frankly, this is one of the tasks that, as I was saying, is one of my client have asked me to check out with one of the app that I'll show you. And then I have taken reference from that app and then I started creating this because I believe that a mental health coach will have a lot more personal information than a normal type of voice AI agent. So that is why I'm keeping this project completely open source. And hopefully in next week, 1 week's time, I'm going to launch it for a public beta so that you can test it as well. And you'll also have access to the source code, of course. Now, what we will do is we'll go to the screen and I'll show you the exact architecture, how we have created the agent. I'll also take you through the codes and also the UI bits, if possible, a little bit. But as I said, everything will be available as an open source project. So you could go check out the project and you should be able to run it through. Now, maybe the core source code will be available over the weekend because as I'm still doing some kind of fine tuning, if it is ready by the time I launch this video, then it's well and good. If not, please keep track of the repository that I have shared in the previous videos. It should be there, or the best is hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so that you can get to know when I am launching this in the GitHub repository, and I should be able to give you some more insights on that through either community post or through this YouTube video. As you can understand, there will be a lot more videos coming on this particular product in the coming days. So again, please subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to bring a lot more different type of voice AI agent system as I used to do previously as well. Now, let's go to the screen and let's explore the architecture type. So this particular AI agentic system will have the normal conversational pipeline, which is speech to text, LLM, text to speech, and turn detector, which is an additional component that I have already covered in this channel before. But this is all the basic components. On top of that, we have added some functional context where we add different tasks as the agent produces based on the conversation. It add goals, it add insight, and it will be able to also get the insight and manage it. This is using the function calling. On top of that, we have added a memory system. Now, what is a memory system? This is basically as the agent converses with the user, this memory will be enhanced with the knowledge and the fact that it receives from the conversation. So this is more sort of a teachable agent that I have already covered in the channel using Autogen teachability framework. This is more sort of that, but this is something that we have developed as part of this particular project, which I'll show you in short time. And of course, there are different callbacks. So what are the callbacks? So basically, whenever the agent would start to speak, the agent would do some callback and get some context, basically. So what happens with function calling usually is when you give an instruction, then only agent does a function call and get the details, right? It doesn't do it inherently. I hope you understand what I mean by that. But when you create some kind of personal coach, or the coach should be able to do that just by itself, by just by its own contextual understanding, not by the user instruction, right? And this is where what we do is before every call, we are doing a before LLM callback as a function. So here is what the overall architecture looks like for the agentic system. Now, this is all created using LiveKit, as you would have seen, or you would have understand if you have been following me in this channel for long. Now, there are a lot of components that are involved in this particular agentic system. Going through the previous history of conversation or the memory or the task list and fetching out all the details that is necessary for that piece of information or for that piece of conversation. Now, this is what makes it really, really powerful. And this is also the one thing that is making the AI agent a bit slow. Maybe you have seen in the demo that the agent is taking or lagging a bit when it is producing the output. And the reason is because for every single back and forth communication, it's going to the LLM callback and it's fetching the context. And then it is sort of producing the AI output and doing, and then through the text to speech pipeline, it is producing the output. So there are different callbacks that we are doing. We are doing agentic speech callback. We are doing user speech callback. And when the user and agent is talking with each other, we are creating a conversational history and we are adding it to history. And at the end of the conversation, we are processing this entire conversation and then we are extracting insights. We are extracting tasks. We're analyzing the conversation and we're updating our database so that next time when a user starts to converse with the same agent, it's able to pull out all those insights and information, and then it can continue the conversation as you would have seen in the demo. Now, in all means, this system is still not production ready. This system still needs a lot of fine tuning, but I hope this will give you some really nice idea about how to build such a system. And to be really, really transparent, I am going to make every code like open source so that you can check out, you can improve on it, or if you want, you can collaborate with me and improve this project as well. So that is the overall architecture, and this is something, as I said, one of our client have sort of prescribed me to check because we are building a very similar product for them, and this is what we do as part of the web agency. So if you are in need of such type of complex system, use the link below and reach out to us. Now, let's go ahead to the code base and let me actually show you how the entire code is working. So we'll first focus on the agentic code base and then we'll focus on the UI side. So here is our memory agent v2, which we have built for this particular purpose. This is a really complex system. As you can see, we have almost 1,000 lines of code that we had to write for this particular agent. I tried to use AutoGen framework with LiveKit, but that didn't work, unfortunately. So I had to come up with my own sort of framework for this so that we can leverage the memory capability and we can add some memory capability to LiveKit agent. Again, this is not just a normal AI agent as you would have seen. This is not just those sort of appointment setter agent. This is more sort of specialized case that we can or we should build with AI agent, given that these frameworks are getting really, really strong and the technology is becoming really, really powerful. Now, what we are doing at the first is we are setting some room prefix or room suffix, and we are adding some room validation error. This is to only ensure that the agent only joins a specific room which ends with KnoMind. This is really important so that we can create KnoMind apps. Maybe in later on, the vision is if we white level it, we could just create different room suffix for our different client, and then they should be able to use this agent in their own space using our platform, of course. Now I have to also improve upon all the infrastructure bit and the design bit, but this is a really rough agent that we have created. A lot of the thing needs to be improved, of course. We created a task DB interface. So it's a very simple database we have created at the moment. We need to again enhance it using MongoDB or something like that in the future. But for now, it's just an SQLite DB. We created a table task for insights, and we are creating different function to add task, update task, get any pending task, get insights, and all these bits. On top of that, so these are all like the function calling. On top of that, we have created the memory, which is a vector database. Again, we are using a localized vector database and not using any quadrant or any sort of vector database. Now for this one, as this is a very rough draft of this agent, and what we are doing is we have created a few functions. We are initializing the vector store at the start of the agent. We are adding data into a memory. We are adding the contextual understanding or conversational understanding into this memory based on whatever fact that you have shared. For example, here I have said that I have just joined a team, so that is a fact that it should add into the memory for the conversation that will proceed, right? So it will add all those details through this add to memory function. It can also do query memory if there is any need to do any sort of vector database query. So we are using llama index here, and I have covered about llama index, 3 type of llama index engine already in this channel. So please go ahead and check the live kit playlist if you have not seen it. And then we are defining the mental health coach function, which is the function that will be used by the agent. So these are the functions that we have created, which will be called by these live kit functions that we will create. We are creating at this stage. So for example, this is add task function, and this is basically just calling the add task function as part of this task DB class. It's just doing a proper code structure so that we could add or delete or manage a lot more function in the future without causing a lot of changes into the code. Similarly, we have this memory agent, where this memory agent is basically used before LLM callback. This is usually used in the LLM callback option. So as I was saying, before every speech, AI needs to understand the context. So that is where this before LLM callback will fetch any pending task, any pending insight, or any specific contextual memory, and it will add all of those into the memory context of the chat, so that when AI will come up with the next response, it knows everything about it. But yes, it's making the process a bit slow, so I have to work on it, on how to improve it. But this has really given me some sort of satisfactory result so far when it comes to the memory context understanding. I also have to think about when the conversation would scale, how to manage this. So we will do all those sort of things in the future videos. So again, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to bring all these interesting topics in the near future. Other than that, there is not a lot of thing which is outside of live kit system that I've already covered. So we have process conversation as a method where we are processing the actual conversation. We are extracting insights, and as part of extracting insight, at the moment we are doing pattern matching. So for example, if users say, hey, I love or I enjoy, I prefer to do something, that is a preference. If say I feel or I am feeling this, that's a feeling. If it's challenged, then you'll say then the user will say I struggle with something, or I find it hard to do this thing. So we are sort of running through these patterns and trying to find out what is goal, what is challenge, what is belief, what is preference, and we are adding those details into the task database or inside database. So if it is a task, then it has to be either things like I have to do that, I should do that, I'm going to do that, I'm planning to do that, and all those sort of things. And again, this is not a comprehensive list. We need to improve this, but this is again as a basic and very rough scratch of the agent. So this will give you some really, really good insight. And then we have this analyze conversation with AI. This is literally the final analyze conversation process. So for example, when the conversation is over and I said, hey, thank you, goodbye, then it should call this analyze conversation with AI method, give the entire conversation history so that it fetch any new information that it has got from the conversation and it adds into the database. If there is a goal, then it will add it to the task database. If there is an insight, it should add into the insight database or something like that. And then if it is just something that needs to be dumped into the memory, then it will add into the memory database or into the vector database. We are preloading our VAD or voice activity detector. In the entry point script, we are only getting into the room which ends with KnoMind, as I've shown you. We are initializing our memory agent, and then we are fetching the user metadata. What is the user metadata? So when you have seen, when we have started the demo, we have added the name and the reason why the user is connecting with this agent. So we fetch that from the metadata that the client will send, and based on that we are defining our system prompt. We are adding those context into our chat context, and we are also setting our welcome message based on the context that would come from the UI or from the client end. And then at the end of the session, what we are doing are processing the conversation, where, as I said, we are sending all the conversation details, and we are also doing sort of conversation duration, sort of analytics and everything, so that we should be able to show all this into the UI later on as we launch the mobile app as well. Now, as I said, this will give you some really good idea about how to create a really comprehensive and complex AI agents, and which is working, which is production ready. But yes, this agent still needs a lot of work to do, which I will continue to do, and I will continue to update to the GitHub space. Now, very quickly, I will show you the front end code. So here is the front end code. Now, I'm not going to go ahead with the UI bits. Those things are really easy. Just use AI tools, and I'm sure you know how easy it is to create front end components. The core component that I want to show you, which is functional really, is the playground component. So which is this one. So in the playground component, we are actually creating that a mobile compliant model, and that this model actually, it accepts audio input, it accepts chat input, it also accepts push to talk. So that means when I was testing, the mic was always on, but you can toggle the push to talk button, so it will do the push to talk. And the best and important thing is this token.ts. So what happens in the token.ts is when we create this agent, we set the room name ends with KnoMind, which is as a suffix, and then we are also adding the metadata. Where we are adding the metadata is here. So in the metadata, we are also passing the username and goal, as this API will be called by the front end. And that is actually managed in the use connection hook, where we are adding those metadata and then we are calling the API. And in the API, we are basically creating the token, which will be used to connect to a live kit room. This is the work that we have done so far. And frankly, I feel like this is the work that you will never find in YouTube in any videos, and no one will share that. And the reason is because this is something that we do, and we also sell to our client in much more enhanced and much more matured product. This is not a matured product yet, but I'm going to make it matured product. Hopefully you will see how a matured product would look like and how that will actually function. So that's it really. I wanted to cover in this video. This video is already become, I think, 20-25 minutes long. I'm gonna end the video, and please subscribe to the channel, because as I said, there are a lot more other products and projects that we are building, and I have been building for a couple of weeks now, and that will be coming into the channel very, very soon. And if you are already part, or if you're already member of this channel, from this Sunday, which is coming Sunday, I guess, which is 23rd March onwards, we will have a live stream where I will bring my co-founders, I'll bring my clients, I'll bring different other peoples who are working on this AI agent space, so that they would share their experience and you could ask them questions. So if you are not a member yet, if you can become a member, use the join button, become a member, and have a chance to talk with the real life leaders and co-founders and founders who I am working with, and building different voice AI agent system for them. There are really, really interesting stuff coming out. There is a new product coming out apart from this one, which hopefully will be launched tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. I'll bring a new video about that. So please stay excited, please stay tuned, and I will hopefully see you into the next one. Please take care.